Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy Monday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger, and you are watching Coffee with Kruger on this Monday, June 30th. Yeah, it's June. And you know what? We have yet to see triple digits this year. Haven't seen it, but we are going to be looking at that later this week. Could be as early as tomorrow, but I think for everyone in the valley, we're talking Wednesday. And boy, we're talking about some big heat that is going to be heading our way. What's interesting though, and of course, starting off my morning cup of coffee, what do you all drink in the morning here? Does everyone drink coffee? I do. I usually have 2 cups. In fact, this is my second cup of coffee for the day. So got to keep myself awake, right? To get up early in the morning, give you the forecast here. It looks like Casey's saying 3,600 feet, had 207 inches of rain. Isn't this crazy? I'm talking about a heat wave that's heading our way, and I'm getting reports of rain in different areas of Northern California. And I got to tell you, quite honestly, I was surprised. When we take a look at the rainfall amounts that we saw on the coast, man, for June, this definitely a very aggressive storm that's moving through. We didn't see much in the valley. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you did see a sprinkle or two. Let me know. If you're in the valley anywhere, let me know if you saw a sprinkle or a light shower, because it's been so dry that I'd be willing to guess that any rain we did see on the radar evaporated before it reached the ground. Good morning to you, Jackie. How you doing this morning? So glad you could join us this morning. Well, let's take a look at the radar. Let's get you to it and show you that radar. This is a loop from the last 12 hours. Look at that. That's the rain that may move through the coast. Now, there was also some rain yesterday afternoon, so it wasn't just last night and this morning, but even yesterday, there was a little bit of rain out there towards NorCal County, and not to mention even to the north. And that was expected. I was expecting the rain. Honestly, I was not expecting anywhere near what we did see. Now, you can see some of those rain returns or echoes, what we call, making their way into the valley, right? But if there was this passing sprinkle, sure, wouldn't be surprised. But I tell you what, it is so dry out there that I think it was hard for any of that rain to really reach the ground for most of us. Jackie saying, yes, rain on the coast, and there it is. Look at Crescent City, 1.95. And you know what? I didn't even think up until right now to check the records. Let's see if we can get some records in there. It's going to take a while for it to load here. But look at 1.95 in Crescent City, 2.2 out in Klamath. Look at Eureka. Now, this is the center of town of Eureka. We did see about half of an inch there. So let's take a look at this. Let's see here. I'm looking at the records. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I would have never thought. The record is 2.36. Now, it's going off of yesterday. Now, yesterday, before, of course, what we saw last night and this morning, yesterday, Crescent City had a report of about 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. But in the last 24 hours, we've seen 1.95, and the record is 2.36. So it didn't break a record, and quite honestly, didn't even get close. Now, that surprises me. I'll be honest with you 100%. Taking a look at Eureka, the records there. Let's see if there's any records. No, wow, the record value in Eureka is 0.9. Now, yesterday, they saw 1,700, so there was a lot more that did move through tonight and early this morning. But very impressive. Look at Fortuna, almost a half an inch there. Even the inland areas got to see a little bit of rain. Hoopa, 1,400. Willow Creek, about 1,200. Down in southern Trinity County, 0.04 of an inch rainfall. Now, areas where you see 0, some of those could be trace amounts in some areas. Alturas, 0.04. So even Alturas got to see a bit of rain out there. I mean, this is awesome. It's definitely a nice surprise, and I think it probably welcomed. I would be willing to guess in most areas. Look at the temperatures. Now, because of the rain, we saw the clouds, right? So the clouds are acting like a blanket. They're insulating us. So temperatures struggled to get out of the 60s, or excuse me, out of the 70s this morning for the valley. 69 right now for Corning, 68 for Willow, 70 in Chico, and we're sitting at about 74 degrees in Redding right now, and in the 50s, and even some low 60s for the higher elevations, and mid 50s along the coast. Visibility, as a result, has actually dropped a little bit here. In fact, we'll take a look at the cameras. Look at the wet pavement out there in Trinidad. This is just north of Trinidad in Elk Country. And as you head along the coast, of course, this is going to be the story. This is going to be the main story here for the coast, right? You go up and down the coast, and you are going to be looking at visions like this. So you can see the visibility has dropped. There's some low clouds hanging around there, but there's also a little bit of rain. See that guy getting into his truck there? He has a hoodie on because it's a little bit of rain out there. If you look closely, you might see that it might be raining up there. It's hard to tell exactly, but definitely a welcomed sight. This is a sight you'd see, in spring or fall or winter, but typically, not really well, we're not in the dead of summer yet, so it is still spring. I guess we want to get technical, right? Okay, we'll take you back to what it looks like in elk country. Any elk hanging out in the water? No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. But, what do you do? All right, let's get you out the door this morning for your June 3rd. Yeah, we got the morning showers out there for everyone, except, the valley, yes, you may see a passing sprinkle. Is this going to be, a big issue? No. Again, I was expecting a lot less for the coast, but they did see it. Now, look at the winds. They're pretty gusty in some areas, especially off in the eastern mountains. And when we look at the forecast winds for today, taking to the noon hour, a little breezy up north, still gusty winds in the eastern mountains with those winds coming in from the west. Still a bit breezy in the valley, but nothing terribly concerning. So we take you into tonight, of course, still a little breezy out there. So when you factor in the cooler temperatures, humidity, yeah, it's fairly low, and the winds a little breezy out there, but the fire danger is mainly in that low category. All right, but that's going to change by tomorrow. The fire danger, the heat, the humidity levels, they're all dropping. Well, of course, the fire danger is increasing. But look at the clouds. Look at all those clouds moving in there this morning. That is what is giving us these mild temperatures this morning, but that's also going to be a contributing factor to the cooler weather that we're going to see out there today. So we look at Futurecast, zoom it in here, and there you can see as we go into the noon hour, there may be a few stray sprinkles, maybe a light shower east of the valley, even at the noon hour. So in the eastern mountains, places like Susanville could see a little bit of activity here. But as we go through the afternoon, that pretty much diminishes, and the clouds will actually start to clear out, and that'll continue into tonight. There is an excessive heat warning. So that warning, the excessive heat watch was upgraded to an excessive heat warning over the weekend, with highs between 95 and 108 degrees. That's starting tomorrow. Okay, that's not today. It's tomorrow that we've got that excessive heat heading our way. What does that mean? Well, we take a look at the heat risk by the National Weather Service, and tomorrow mostly in that moderate range. Now, a moderate heat risk affects most people sensitive to heat, especially without proper cooling and or hydration. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to be the major category. What does that mean? Well, it affects anyone without proper cooling and or hydration. So if you don't have access to air conditioning or proper hydration, you can't get enough water, that could be an issue. That's why for those of you that have cooling, for those of you that have proper hydration, it's important for you to look out for your neighbors. It's important for you to look out for your friends, your family, everybody, right? And I'd be willing to guess that we will eventually start to maybe see some cooling centers out there. Hey, Curtis saying that actually he got up to 102 degrees on Friday. Okay, so there were probably a few select spots, but that's unofficial, right? Officially, we have yet to hit 100 degrees. But thank you, Curtis. I'm sure it was hot any way you look at it on Friday, whether it was 99 or 102. It was hot. Our thermometer box is on the east-facing slope, so it may be picking up on reflective heat. It could have been. From the east, yeah, possibly. But that seems pretty accurate. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Thank you, Curtis, for sending that in. Good morning to you, Caroline. And of course, I'm just kind of checking some of the comments. We got Shelly saying good morning from Weaverville. A little wet out here, having your cup now. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying your cup of coffee, Shelly. So that confirms. Thank you, Shelly, for that confirmation. Yeah, looks like you're just getting maybe some sprinkles kind of passing the area, but nothing at least reported as far as any measurable rainfall. All right, I'm talking about rain, and here's the heat risk. So again, we've got to look out for our neighbors during this heat wave as we go to tomorrow. Just something to kind of keep in mind. All right, let's take a look at our forecast for today. And the clouds, they should be dissipating. By the way, that should not be a thunderstorm there for Lassen Park. That should just be maybe some passing sprinkles or light showers. That's the extent of it. But look at the highs. Temperatures mid-80s for the valley, 70s for most of the higher elevations, and in the low 60s for most of us along the coast. So a beautiful, beautiful start to the work week. But we are going to see about a 15 to 20 degree increase in a matter of 24 hours. And then maybe another 5 to 10 degree increase Tuesday into Wednesday. Now the peak of the heat wave is going to be around Wednesday, Thursday, and then temperatures start to drop after that, but still hot, still hot. Now the coast, you're not going to see that. You're actually going to see temperatures averaging in the mid 60s for the next 7 days. So that's where you want to go to cool off. Showers this morning. We've already seen it last night, right? We're seeing it again this morning, and even places like Weaverville could see a few sprinkles or light showers, as just confirmed by Shelley. Thank you for that report. Check timing to water plants during hot days. That's right. It's going to be hot. Temperatures in the upper 90s, though, for your Wednesday. And I think places in Trinity County, like Weaverville, Hayfork, could see 100 degrees during the peak of the heat wave. And then temperatures start to drop after that. Taking a look at Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville. Maybe a chance for some of those morning showers. Otherwise, it's dry for the second half of the day. Although I will say this, eastern mountains in particular, Lassen, Plumas counties, for example, you may see a stray sprinkle even this afternoon. But temperatures start to increase. No triple digits for most of the higher elevations today, of course, with the exception of Trinity County. Otherwise, mainly looking at mid to even some upper 90s. And then temperatures do start to drop as we take you into the weekend. But still warm, hot, any way you look at it. There are the clouds this morning out at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. No raindrops, though. Looks like a little bit of a breeze out there, but nothing terrible. There you can see Main Street, Chico, and Highway 32. Looks like traffic is flowing okay. Of course, you don't have to worry about the wet roads. And there you can see Highway 99 at Neal Road. No wet roads there either. And there you can see just the overcast skies that we're seeing out there this morning. And again, we take out the Sundial Bridge. And this is the Sundial Bridge on Highway 44, Sundial Bridge Drive. We got the overcast skies out there as well. Again, real quickly, just wanted to show you this, the wet conditions we do have out on the coast. That's pretty much the case as you head out to Crescent City as well. Do want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. If you want to continue to follow and track the heat wave, this is going to be the best resource for you. And I'll tell you why. Because it's backed by me, number one. It's really focused on Northern California weather. That's the focus with this app, okay? And now it will follow you. If you have it to where you're getting notifications and it knows where you are, it will follow you when you go on a trip. So if you head out to Texas somewhere, it will tell you what your weather will be there. It won't be generated by me, of course, but it'll just be coming from the National Weather Service. But this right here, you got your neighborhood forecast. You can watch Coffee with Kruger, watch what you're watching now from the app. You can watch the neighborhood forecast. You can watch my regular video updates. I mean, it's an awesome resource. I really do think you're going to like it. I've been getting some rave reviews from people out in the public just thanking me for the wonderful app. So check it out. Now, if you can also watch on your smart TV, there's a 24-hour streaming channel that I have, right? And you can watch it on Fire TV. You can also watch it on Roku. And most TVs these days are smart TVs. As long as they're hooked up to the internet, you can watch streaming stuff on the web, right? Including YouTube. You can almost guarantee that all smart TVs have a YouTube app on it. All you got to do is go to your YouTube app, search for Weather NorCal, subscribe to the channel. That's a good way to do it too. And you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel and also watch my latest video update right there on your regular TV screen. So for those of you that say you miss me on TV, you don't have to, because you can watch me on your TV. And if you have a Roku or Fire Stick or YouTube available on your TV. So check it out. All right, I'm going to kind of switch gears now because we have got our Monday Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals segment sponsored by Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic and Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic. And we meet one of the newest members of the Turtle Bay family. And Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal. This is Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. I've got Sharon Clay, and you're going after my ring first and foremost, right? So, Nay, this is a new bird, right?
You didn't even finish introducing us.
I know.
Yes.
But when I asked you last time, you mumbled the name.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is, no, I said, oh, that wonderful world of, oh my gosh, she's on my hand is what I think I heard. That's what I think I heard, folks. Okay, so this is Nazara. Nazara. It's spelled N-Z-A-R-A.
Okay,
Nazara. And she is called a Guinea Turako. And I don't know if you can catch that on that video. I hope you can.
You can come a little closer if you want.
And look
See
at
what we got
her.
here.
She is iridescent purple and blue.
Wow. So I do kind of see a little bit of that blue in there, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then the green. So yeah, so like she's like blue right down there, and then all this purple, and then green, and she's just
And I
amazing.
like what's going on here. That looks like a style,
hand out, she'll sit on
like
it.
somebody would. And I'm going to take your challenge here. Here you go. Oh,
Okay.
but like the eyes looks like there's some kind of eyeliner.
It does look like eyeliner,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. She is a whole group of birds called Turakos. We have a red-crested Turako here
Yeah.
as well. Turakos, there's about 23 species of them, and they're all found in Africa. And they're extremely unique. So their closest North American relative, if you looked at her, just made her a little bit bigger and turned her all brown and ran her along the ground.
We talked about this with the last one. It's a roadrunner.
Roadrunner.
Right? Yeah.
So their closest relative is the roadrunner, but these guys use their feet to run along branches and to fly short distances throughout the canopy of the forest. So they eat berries. They got this teeny little. Listen to her. Can you hear her? Listen to
I
her.
do, yeah.
She makes these little noises.
Speak in the microphone.
I know. Over here. Make noises here. I wonder if it's being picked up.
I think it is.
It's so cute. So that's like begging, basically. She's like, will you please feed me and feed me faster? But she has to learn patience. She's like one of our newest birds here at Turtle Bay. Currently, she's off exhibit, but we're training her for the show, and eventually she's going to live in with the lorikeets. And but what's so special about these birds, we've talked about it before, is that pigmentation. So that pigmentation is actually created from themselves and their body, versus most birds, it's just the reflection of the sun, like a prism, that would actually then show you color.
Okay.
So this color on them, and when she opens her wings, let's fly her over to me. Ready? Let's see the red in her wings.
Do I do like just?
Nope, she'll just come.
I
you
did
see
see
it?
that. It was like a
All
little
right,
red
watch.
flash.
Put your hand back, ready? She'll come back to you. She'll go to you. See the red flashes?
I
And you
think
can
we
see it
might
on the
see-
side.
Oh,
yeah.
there it was,
Here,
yeah.
I'll go back farther. You don't need me in the shot. You can just watch her fly over to Mike. All right, ready, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, over to you. And you can watch. There, you can see all that red.
Hopefully you got to
Yes.
see it. That
So-
was pretty neat. So is there a reason? Is that a defense mechanism?
Yeah,
is that camouflage?
So it's a couple of things. So no, usually the camouflage is this green and the purples help her to blend in. But when she wants to be seen, she's going to flash the red. So she'll flash the red for territory. She'll flash the red to attract a mate. She also flashes the red sometimes with predators to confuse them, because red means
It's poisonous, but then there you go.
but they're not.
They're not.
But
So
they're
like,
not.
I'm going to stay away.
So
Yeah.
if they're starting to feel like maybe they're not hiding enough and there's a predator coming at them, flash the red, and the predator might think twice before they get them. So pretty cool, huh?
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think and how long have you had Nazaro, right?
We got Nazar actually at Thanksgiving. She literally came to us on Thanksgiving Day.
What a great
turkey.
gift.
What a great little turkey.
You turkey.
She's such a great little turkey.
I suppose turkeys don't appreciate that.
Maybe not. Although she's smart, and so are turkeys, so that's good.
There you go.
So awesome.
That is awesome. Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Nazaro. Welcome to the Turtle Bay family. I'm sure you've already been welcomed wonderfully, and we keep adding in there. Well, thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you, Nazaro, and we will see you next week for another edition of Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals.
Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic is one of the only clinics in the area that can see your pet same day and for evening emergencies. We're always striving to improve the care that we give to your pets.
Here at Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic, we have 10 brilliant doctors here to provide your pet with amazing collaborative care. From not only your dog to your cat, but also your gecko, your horses, your goats, and your cows. Come on down and see us. Both clinics are located in the heart of Cottonwood.
All right, there you go. That was your Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Always so fun to hang out with Sharon and learn more about those animals. And that's the newest family, the Turako type of bird that is. And they're beautiful. You may have seen the other one that they have too. Of course, we did a couple of segments over the last year with the other Turako. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the other Turaco, but so much fun. I always love doing that here. Looks like, yeah, some people kind of chiming in this morning. We got Nikki D saying good morning, saying I'm the best. Oh, aren't you sweet? Thank you so much, Nikki. Enjoying my cup of coffee with you, Nikki. And Lynn said a little bit earlier, she says, check the timing of water plants during the hot days. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert in that. I don't think it's probably... They always say it's not best to water during the day because of all of the evaporation. So it's usually best to have good soaking in the morning and another good soaking in the evening. So it kind of gets into the ground. It can really soak into the ground. But let me know in the comments if you know otherwise or have better tips when it comes to protecting those plants and making sure they don't get, die from the heat. Lynn saying, we love the NorCal app. Well, thank you, Lynn. And I love you all. I love everybody that downloads the NorCal app. I'm really trying to make a push for it. I'd love for more people to discover the Weather NorCal app. And as a result, they discover the NorCal app. They discover Weather NorCal in general. This is the wave of the future, folks. Whether you like it or not, it's getting your information from the internets, the interwebs, right? No. But that's what we're doing here, and I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve, and that's why I decided to do what I'm doing here with Weather NorCal. Catherine Schmidt saying, Castle area, wow, 61 degrees this morning, then dropped to 59 degrees at sunrise. Now, some of you might be asking, well, she said it was 61, then the sun came up and it was 59. Well, here's the thing. The coolest time of the day is right when the sun comes up, because that's when you have the most amount of cooling. Then once the sun comes up, then we start to heat up the surface. So after 59, you'll probably start to see those temperatures begin to increase. So kind of interesting there. All right, let's see if anybody's got anything else going on this morning. Let me know in the comment section below what you do to kind of help protect your plants. And kind of another fun thing I like to do here is take a look at the National Calendar Day. So today is National Egg Day. All right, that sounds good. Who doesn't love a good egg, right? National Leave the Office Early Day. Well, I think I'm going to do that. I'm my own boss. I don't have to answer to anybody. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave the office. You know what? I'm going to leave now. No, I'm not going to leave now. National Chocolate Macaroon Day. And National Repeat Day. It's National Repeat Day, folks. It's National Repeat Day. Yes, it's not. Okay. All right. You get the idea. All right. That was fun. All right. We'll tell you what, let's get right to it. Let's get you to the forecast this morning, and it is brought to you by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, we take a look at those, the radar right now, actually, and we did see some rain, and some good rain. We'll take a look at those totals here in a second, but you can kind of see this pushing through. This is going to be the extent of it. It's going to be weakening throughout the morning. Now, we take a look at the rainfall totals. Look at that, almost 2 inches of rain in Crescent City. I did check the records. No, didn't break a record. 2.2 out in Klamath, didn't even break a record in Eureka, Fortuna, 4400s. You head east, of course, not as much. There may have been some trace amounts in some areas. I did get a report in Shingletown of about 207 inch of rainfalls, so it just depends on where you are. But this rain gauge here that I'm looking at, it didn't show any rainfall. So again, some of these zeros could really be traced to maybe 100 to 200 of an inch rainfall in some of those areas. Look at the temperatures right now. Because of the added cloud cover we have out there, because of the rain, right? Temperatures upper 60s, low 70s in the valley. It's 74 degrees in Redding right now. It's actually getting kind of warm. 58 for Susanville, 56 degrees for Alturas, and those mid-50s along the coast. So here's your headlines. It's a mild start to the week. Bigger heat this week. Temperatures slowly dropping by the end of the week. But it's still going to be hot. You know, we're seeing those temperatures most likely drop below 100 degrees barely by the weekend, but we're still talking temperatures well into the 90s. Now, the winds are a little gusty for some of us this morning, and as we go through the afternoon, still a little breezy for the north end of the valley, gusty west winds for the eastern mountains. But look at the coast. I mean, considering how windy it has been, it's not that bad. We're taking your Tuesday morning, a little breezy in some spots here, but I do expect those winds to pick up in the valley, unfortunately. This is bad timing because this is also when the heat's going to start to kick in as well. Temperatures about 100 degrees, humidity dropping, and the winds, right? And there you can see the west winds to the northeast. And again, not that bad out along the coast. Now we go to Wednesday. Now, yes, the winds for the most part aren't going to be too bad, especially Wednesday afternoon, but it's going to be low humidity and hot again. So the fire danger will probably be fairly high. And we'll take a look at that here in a second. But I want to also, we factor in the humidity as well. So, you know, you look at this, you go, okay, that's not bad, right? Because a lot of times we talk about those single digits in the relative humidity. That's really low. But keep in mind, 20-25% humidity, that's still pretty low. We have to remember that. It's just always so dry in the valley, right? That when we get up to 20, it seems like it's not as dry. And it isn't, but it's still dry. And that can increase that fire danger. I mean, going to Wednesday, and again, look at that. Now, you see that? Now we're getting into the teens and single digits. So that's going to be probably even higher fire danger. All right. So look at the fire weather risk for today. It's fairly low because it's cooler out there. Wind's a little breezy this afternoon, but the humidity not that bad. We go into Tuesday, and there you have it. High fire danger. Winds picking up, heat, low humidity. Wednesday, same situation. We see it kind of peak around midday, and then as those winds start to die down, it drops, but still looking at high fire danger, unfortunately, going into Wednesday too. And that'll probably be Thursday and even Friday. So you can see all the clouds that have moved in last night, and of course some of the rain that we're seeing. This is another storm system that's going to unfortunately just kind of stall itself out because high pressure is what's going to build in. Now, I wanted to show you this. For the month of May, here's our calendar. Here are the temperatures we saw. If you recall, the first weekend of May, 69 on Saturday, 66 on Sunday. It was a nice, cool start. And you go even to the 25th, 74 for that daytime high, not bad with 87. Now, the hottest we've seen so far for the year was 99 degrees officially. Okay, then on Friday, again, officially at the Reading Airport, 98 degrees was the high. So officially, we have yet to hit 100 degrees. Now, again, we did see our friend out there in west of Red Bluff did see 102 degrees on Friday. But again, it depends on which temperature gauge you look at. And of course, we go off the official temperature gauges. So warmer air in place, cooler air riding to our north. That's moving out. This ridge of high pressure is building in. This is the big bubble of heat that will be here by tomorrow, but really will take effect going into Wednesday, Thursday. But what you'll notice is that big bubble of heat is mainly off to the east. Now, this is the GFS forecast model. All last week, this was the solution. Early last week, the European forecast model had it over here, forecasting highs of 110, 115. Now the European forecast model is on board with the GFS. This is unusual because a lot of times the European forecast model is usually a little bit more reliable. But I'd have to say the GFS, the American forecast models, had a pretty good track record here lately. All right, but here you have it, right? So there's that heat. The main bubble of heat to our east, that's the hottest temperatures on the outer perimeter of that ridge, that dome of heat. So you think of a dome like this, right? So the dome is high, that's where you have the hottest temperatures. As you go in the outer perimeter of that dome, you have lower, right? Hot here, not as hot here, but still hot. And that's essentially what we're looking at here. Not as hot, but we still have the first heat wave of the season. And then it looks like as we go into the weekend, that ridge is staying in place. But we've got this kind of riding up to the north here. That's going to suppress it a little bit. But as I mentioned, it's still hot over the weekend and into early next week. In fact, we've got another big ridge of high pressure that's going to be moving in from the southwest by early next week. So the Climate Prediction Center, no surprises here. Warmer than normal is what we're expecting here for the extended out range, or for the extended range, that is. So we're going to an excessive heat warning. That's this color right here. That's for all of for all of the valley, that is, of Northern California, and not to mention the surrounding foothills. So what does that mean? What does all this mean? So we take a look at the heat risk from the National Weather Service. All of the orange, we're mainly going to be in orange tomorrow. That's moderate. What moderate means is it affects most people sensitive to heat, especially without proper cooling and or hydration. Now by tomorrow, now we're in the red. That's major. It affects anyone without proper cooling and or hydration. That red, that major heat risk will extend on into Thursday. And then by Friday, we're going to see it make its way back into moderate. So again, you can see it peaking Wednesday, Thursday. It starts to drop, but still hot going into your Friday. Now, I want just to let you know how serious these heat waves are, because this happens every summer. I talk about this dangerous heat, and then people tend to, I guess you could call them trolls, but people tend to go, they laugh it off. They go, we're used to it. We get hot here all the time. That's great. If you're used to it, you're happy and healthy, you have a place to cool off, you have plenty of water to drink. but it's not so great for those that aren't used to it. And number two, it's not so great for those that don't have proper ways to stay cool or have proper ways to get cool water, right? And for those that work outside, they've got to be extra careful as well. So when you look at the weather fatalities of 2023, look at this spike right here. Look at the highest number of fatalities due to weather-related deaths. What do you think that is? It's heat. Heat is the number one reason across the nation. Now, I did dig deep into this a little bit further. None of those deaths, by the way, last year were in California. They were mainly in Arizona and Nevada. But bottom line, that heat can be deadly, and we need to be very careful with that. And so, speaking of that, if you do work outside, just a friendly reminder, and of course you probably know this, working outside, you got to drink a cup of water every 20 minutes. Even if you don't feel thirsty, just keep drinking that water to keep yourself hydrated, because you're going to be sweating it out, right? Take regular breaks to rest during hot conditions. Skipping breaks is not a safe thing. If you think, I got to get this done, no, take a break. It's very important. Seek periodic breaks in the AC if possible. Spend time in the shade when outdoors. All right, so if you work outside, be aware of that here for this week. Not necessarily today. I mean, today's, going to be nice. But there's that rain, the light rain that we did see, and maybe some sprinkles in the valley. But look at this, by noon, it's pretty much gone. We take into the afternoon, even the skies are starting to clear as well. So we'll probably see more sunshine by the afternoon. Going into your Tuesday, yeah, maybe some clouds along the coast, maybe some afternoon clouds to the north, but still looking at dry conditions. Wednesday afternoon, southern Cascades, northern Sierra, we'll see some afternoon clouds developing here. Look at that, even a few thunderstorms developing down to our south and east. But even the coast may see some clearing here for your Wednesday. So wave heights, that's what it looks like today. We go into Tuesday. Look at this. Actually, the wave heights are starting to drop through the day on Tuesday. So we look at our marine forecast for your Monday. West winds at 5 to 10 knots. Waves from the west at 6 feet at 10 seconds. And from the southwest at 1 foot at 14 seconds. No alerts, no advisories out there. All right, so for today, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Yeah, I think Trinity County, I think Weaverville, Hayfork, you could possibly see 100 degrees by the middle and latter part of the week. Not out of the question. Otherwise today, gorgeous, right? 70s. 73 degrees for Hayfork, 63 degrees for Wildwood. Hayfork, I got you in the upper 90s, but again, you could touch 100 degrees here later on this week. Let's take you out to the north coast, take you out to southern Humboldt County. Temperatures inland in the low to mid 70s. You got those showers early this morning, but it's dry by the afternoon. There you can see 62 degrees for Fortuna, Ferndale about 61. All right, there's something going on here. I need to fix that. That's not true. Don't pay attention to that 7-day forecast. There's some kind of weird bug that's made its way into my computer system, and I need to, they're kind of sprinkled in my weather maps. I got to figure out what's going on with them. So I have to remind myself to fix that one for Fortuna. But there you can see out in Hoopa, we're looking at, temperatures in the upper 90s here by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. Oh, they had the mouse cursor in there the whole time. Come on, get that out of there. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at up to the north, and there you can see out towards Smith River, 63, maybe some showers in the morning, 61 degrees out in Gasquet today. Let's take you out to Siskiyou County. Let's double check that 7-day. Yeah, that 7-day looks okay. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-90s during kind of the peak of that heat wave in Modoc County. Siskiyou County. Scott Valley, 70 degrees for Etna today, 70 for Greenview, and temperatures in the mid-90s for those daytime highs during the peak of the heat wave. Taking out to Siskiyou County to the east and to the northeast today, not bad, right? Higher elevations, mid-60s, but we're in the low 70s here for places like Mount Shasta. Out towards Modoc County, we got those showers in the morning, maybe a few isolated sprinkles here and there in the afternoon for parts of Modoc County, but I think if we see any sprinkles this afternoon, it will be in the eastern mountains, where there you can see Bernie with temperatures in the mid-90s there. We take you south, and again, we can take a look at the fact that we do, oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the broken, I got to fix that. You got to love these bugs, right? I apologize for that. Here's your eastern mountains forecast to the south. Okay, everything looks okay there. 67 degrees for Paradise, 67 for Mineral, and 75 degrees in Doyle. All right, here's your Valley neighborhood forecast. Looks like, Chico. Peak of the heat wave is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and then the temperatures do start to drop after that. Fingers crossed, Red Bluff is okay. I checked it earlier. Yes, it is okay. It didn't get affected by the bug. By the way, you may notice that on the website. I'm going to look into that, and I've got to go in there and fix some of those bugs. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. All right, 83 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake today. 85 out in Redding. There's your 7-day outlook for Redding. And yes, it's going to be hot. I'm kind of sweating right now. It's kind of warm in my studio right now. It's warm. And I think partially it's just psychological. Man, it's just like, and I'm not one to really sweat a whole lot. I really don't. I'm not a big sweater, but sometimes, man, it just gets hot out there. It's just miserable. And we're going to be dealing with that here this week. So I've got to get the AC pumping a little bit better here in the studio. Maybe that's what's going on here. So there you have it. That's what we're looking at with those temperatures. And it's going to be just downright hot, folks. So be ready for that. Well, that's going to do it out there this morning. And we are going to kind of leave you with a couple of cameras across the area. It looks like it's wet still for parts of the coast, not so wet in other areas. Here you can see as we take a look at Lake Oroville. Yeah, you got the overcast skies, but otherwise you're looking at dry conditions out there. Have yourselves a great Monday. Be sure to keep tuning in for the latest forecast right here on Weather NorCal, weathernorcal.com, from the free Weather NorCal app, from the 24-hour streaming channel. You can get on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, also on YouTube. Lots of great ways to stay ahead of this heat wave so you can be prepared and know just how hot it's going to get. Have yourselves a great Monday. Enjoy this cooler weather before the heat kicks in by tomorrow.
Thank you.